So Angeball is set to begin tomorrow night against Swansea, and we have a huge injury boost. Welcome to your Forest News. Hi guys, hope you're doing well and welcome to your latest Forest News. Coming up, we'll talk you through the key highlights from Ange's presser, tell you about the injury update as well, and players are set to make their debut tomorrow night. So if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you are new. And by the way, I'm about to put out a video on Patreon. So I got some information on how Nuno left and how much it's cost Forest. So go check out Patreon if you want to support us on there as well. Shout out to all the Patreonies who are already supporting us. Absolute legends. The link's also in the comments. All right, let's jump into the news and let's talk about Ange's presser. And again, a lot of information shared. I really like this about him. He helps us to understand his kind of philosophy, his psyche, what he's thinking of and everything else. And he talked about the training sessions. I'll start with that. He's had 2 full training sessions now with the players. When asked about how long Angeball will take to implement, he said not really that long, mate. He goes, once he's got them going, once they've got used to the routines, he's outlined to them what they'll be doing between now and Christmas, because the schedule's going to be quite similar with basically 2 games, or technically 3 games a week going on from now until pretty much Christmas. They've got that structure in place. He also talked about how last week he let the players be, kind of soak up the news about Nuno, soak up him coming in and everything else, and almost held them at arm's length and let them do what they needed to do. This week he said none of that. Got straight into it, into the new routines, into the new training methods and kind of schedule as well. So it's clear to see that he's outlining that he's arrived. Like, what he's basically saying, between kind of reading between the lines, is that the Arsenal game was the Arsenal game. Nothing was expected to happen there. Now let's get on and talk about what's going to happen. Swansea, Burnley, etc. So he's outlined those main key things there. Now, what he's done as well is talked about trophies. Yet again, he's outlining that the Carabao Cup is another trophy. Trophies are hard to win, but he's a winner and he wants to win trophies. Therefore, he's taken the Carabao Cup seriously, as it's another avenue and another opportunity to pick up silverware, outlining again his ambitions, Marinakis' ambitions, etc., and the fact that we always win. So that's good to see that he's taken basically every competition seriously. And this is an allegation that's been thrown at him from those salty Spurs fans saying that, oh, Ange can only focus on one thing at a time and what have you. Well, it looks like he's trying to prove that he can do more than one. Time will tell whether or not that's true. But the key thing, and the thing that got me most excited, was he was talking about new players making their debut on Wednesday. So there's expected to be a lot of changes on Wednesday. I don't think I'm going to be a million miles off with my predicted team. So if you haven't seen that video from yesterday, go check it out for the Swansea preview. But I think it's very safe to say that we're going to see Douglas Luiz, we're going to see Hutchinson, Bakwa, who else we got? There's so many that I can't even remember. Maybe Callum Owendo, maybe a bit more of Igor Jesus, who's almost been forgotten about as well. So these players will have some form of minutes tomorrow night at Swansea. Now, I think he's got to have one eye on Burnley as well. So, for example, Douglas Luiz for me should be starting if and when he's fit in the Premier League. He should be one of the first names on the team sheet. But obviously he needs to get some minutes in first. So I think for me, someone like Douglas Luiz should be playing 60 minutes tomorrow night, doing his thing, looking good in that 8 position, and then be brought off and then someone else can come on. For me, Anderson has to be rested. He's played a lot of games, even over the international break. He played both games for England. So I don't want to see Anderson on the pitch tomorrow. We already know how good he is. We already know what he can provide the team. You will learn nothing new by Anderson on there, unless maybe you're looking at Anderson and Douglas Luiz as that double pivot and you want to get some chemistry going between the two. But Douglas Luiz will definitely be, at least, I think, starting. We will have to wait and see. Backwards, the one you guys are all finally getting excited about. I told you over the summer what a player he was, and that first touch he did was just beautiful. So we should see more of him. I think Hutchinson will start on the left. And then we'll probably see the likes of Jair Cunha being tested out, Zinchenko as well, and maybe Savona coming on as well, even though he got about 40, 50 minutes or whatever it was against Arsenal. So those are the changes there on the pitch. I'm excited by this game. I don't think I've really been excited by League Cup matches for a very long time, but this one is an opportunity to see players in a pre-season that's competitive, if that makes sense. It counts. So we need to see goals, we need to see chances. I'm hoping for a lot of attacking football tomorrow. Excuse me. Now let's go on to the injuries. So the key injury that we've all been talking about is Murillo. Again, the salty Spurs fans have been coming at me saying, oh, when he says it's a knock, it means that he's out for at least the rest of the season. Oh, his career is over. And saying a knock with Kulusevski meant this, that, and the other. Well, he was asked about Murillo quite early on in the conference, and he basically said that Murillo pretty much is ready to play. He's pushing to play, but Ange is going to be in charge of that decision. He spoke to him today as well to see how he was feeling. There seems to be no chance that they're going to risk him tonight and get him ready for the Burnley match, which in the longer scheme of things, obviously, will be the more important match. So Murillo won't be rushed tomorrow night for Burnley. He may not even make the squad. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. And getting him ready for the game against Burnley in the Premier League will be obviously the priority. Now, will Milenkovic be rested as well? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I got a feeling he might be. Again, remember, he played international matches during the international break, so he hasn't had a breather since the start of the season. So that was the main injury concern on Murillo. Einar, we already know, is out until probably the new year, at best December time as well, but then he's got AFCON, etc. There's not too many other things where Ange can't really pick from his squad. He's got, minus Murillo and Einar, he's got the whole squad to decide from and see how he plays. So expect some changes. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw some changes at half time where he's experimenting. If Forest can go 2 or 3-0 up nice and early in the game against Swansea, then I think that's a good opportunity to start rotating some players in. Maybe we'll see Callum Owendo start, maybe he gets 50-60 minutes, and then Igor Jesus comes in for 30 minutes. What we really need to see is certain players getting some goals. So I want to see Callum Owendo scoring. Jesus, definitely needs a goal. He got very close against Crystal Palace. I still think don't write him off. There's a lot to come out of Jesus. And then we want to see Bakwa getting assists and goals. I'm so excited for this game. So that was Ange's presser. Good presser as always, informative. It has lifted my spirits a little bit after the Arsenal game. But what team would you go with? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you go and check out my exclusive update that I have for you guys over on Patreon for the Nuno saga. And hopefully that closes that chapter off. And check out my preview and my predicted team over on yesterday's video. If you haven't seen it already, hit that like, make sure you're subscribed. We'll see you tomorrow for the big game. Come on, you Reds.